Hello again, this is Claude. Today I would like to introduce you my family game of the year 2023, Emerge. Let's learn. Emerge is a game we play as scientists exploring the recently discovered islands. After we set up following the rulebook, I will also recommend take a set of 6 modifier tiles, put it on the side for each players. This will be easier for people to read. The game will go through 8 rounds, then each round will separate into 3 phases. The first is the ship phase. The round tracker will move 1 step forward. If the ship passes any red spot, then the player will also get all the dice, put it in their supply. After the ship moves, we will flip the research tile face up for people to see. The second phase is the modifier phase. In the modifier phase, first each player can have a free action to discard any number of modifier tile which already on their board. Since we don't have any in the very first round, so we can ignore that at the very beginning. And then each player can choose either take 1 new modifier tile placed on their board, or rearrange any number of modifier tile which previously on their board already. We will explain what's a modifier tile a little bit more detail later. After everybody is done, we can all roll the dice, then place those dice on the indicated number. Then starting from the first player, each player take an action. There are 6 kinds of basic action on your player board. The first section is discovering a tree. If you are discovering the first tree from an island, then you spend 1 dice from this section, put it on the side, and then you place a tree on an island. In this example, since there's already a tree right there, so we can use the second action instead. We can spend 2 dice from this section, and then I can place the second tree on this area. So the same, if I want to put the third tree in this area, I have to spend 3 dice from this section, then put the third tree. After that, we can learn the animal discovery. When I want to place a crab, first I check is the island already have a tree? If so, I can spend 2 dice from this section to place a crab from the supply into the island. As a turtle example, we can spend 3 dice from this section and then place a turtle as long as there is a crab on the island. So if we want to place a seal, we need to spend 4 dice from this section. So that's a basic animal action. This action says we can discover a new island. We can spend 2 dice from this section, take a small island tile, place it anywhere on the board, which got a research tile. We don't have to place it adjacent to our island. You can place it anywhere, the open or secret one. Just simply place your island there and then take the research tile. Now it's yours. The second line says you can spend 3 dice from this section to put a middle tile underneath one of your small islands. Or you can spend 4 dice from this section to place underneath a middle island. The last action we want to explain is the bird action. When you use a bird action, you spend 2 dice from this section, and then you can bring 1 bird from the beach side to one of your islands. Whenever the birds come, they will always bring 1 tree to your island. The second line says you can spend 3 dice from this section to bring a bird from an island to one of your islands. You can see it as a steal a bird. You can steal from the opponent or from your own island. So, as long as the bird moves to the new island, they also bring a tree. That's a 6 basic action. One thing to remember is as long as you complete any public objective goal over here, Then you will simply place one of your discs on the highest spot to score the victory point. The modifier tile, they also changes what you can do, because those 6 actions we can cover by the modifier tile of our choice. There's 2 things they give us. The first is the modifier tile, they always have some special ability we can use once per turn. So in this case, in our turn, as a free action, we can flip this tile and then reroll 1 die up to 2 times. And then we place it back on the board. The second thing they give us, before, if I want to put a crab, I had to use 2 of the dice from this section. Now, if I have a modifier tile right here, I can use here 2 dice or here 2 dice, or the combination from these 2 sections to place a crab on my island. So that's how it works. You can spend any 2 dice from your board to purchase a research tile from the market. There always will be 4 research tiles on the market. As long as anyone buys it, the new one will come in. Any player can choose to buy a research tile like that, but if you choose to purchase research tile, you also claim you pass for the rest of the round. The research tile, they are always one-time use special ability. In this case, it means you can spend any 2 dice from your board to place a turtle. But of course, the turtle still have to follow the rule. They need the crab to put on the island. If there are any dice still on your board unused, in the future round, you can choose to not reroll them. Just let them stay there. So the game will keep going like this until everybody pass. We will pass a first player token. Every player will refresh their modifier tile. Then going back to the ship phase. Game will keep going like this until the end of 8th round. We will go to the final score. The final score, there are 2 parts. First is the public goal. So this part is pretty simple. You will score each of your token, which already on the victory point track. The second is each of your island will score separately. The scoring rule is each of your island, they will score numbers of meeple on top of it and times how many layers of that island. So in this case, it's 2 times 3. So 6 points for this island. If any of your island got a seal on top, so they will score a biodiverse bonus point of 3 points. So in this case, usually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 1, so 6 points. This will have additionally 3 points, so it will be 9 points. So as you can see, you want to have your island more trees, more animal, more layers will be more points. That's how the game works. So after everybody count their total point, whoever have the highest point will win the game of Emerge. So that's everything. And in 2023, I'm lucky enough to demo Emerge in Essen for Pandasaurs, and to me, lots of great people. I think the game is quite easy and then peaceful, even though it's a competitive, but you don't feel like people blocking you and kill your unit or something like that. Even it's a dice game, but there are enough way to modify your dice rolling. There are modifier tiles, there are research tile, and you can keep the dice you want if you have really bad roll. So the game component is also beautiful. Probably the only complaint I have for this game is they don't have a scoring track. Just everything you have to count in your mind. Even though it's not a big problem, but still, I feel like the game board is long and big enough. They can easily put a scoring track for people who not so good at math to do it. Anyway, that's everything for today. I wish you give it a try, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.